rides in due dirt south too.
Tide, the wash day miracle that gives you the cleanest clothes in town, brings you in person, direct from Hollywood, that zany, lovable clown of clowns, Red Skelton.
T-I-D-E, Tide presents Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a pleasure to be back again this week. I'd like to explain why I'm dressed like this. See, I hope that you folks like the show because maybe this week I can get the pants to go with the coat. Now, I have to dress this way because of the fast changes we make in the show this week. There's a reason for the pants, the coat, and the tie. They cover me up. Hey, the guy walked up to another fellow the other day and he says, I don't know you from Adam. The guy says, you should. I got on more clothes. Hey, by the way, this is National Pickle Week. They told me to say that. You should have seen my uncle last night. Oh, he celebrated it. Spring is here in Hollywood. You can always tell when it's spring in Hollywood. Everyone wants to adopt Marilyn Monroe. Hey, did you hear that she was operated on last week? Yeah, it took 17 hours for the operation. It took the staff that long to walk by. There was doctors who operated who hadn't studied medicine until that morning. Isn't that silly to go crazy over some movie star like that? You should have seen my smock. It was a mess. Hey, we had a fire out here in Hollywood this week. Warner Brothers caught on fire. Boy, when Humphrey Bogart asked for a match, he ain't kidding, boy. There was one drunk drove through the gate, and the policeman says, hey, where you going? He says, I thought this was a fire drive-in. One actor went home, and he gave his agent a hot foot for the 10% commission. Warner Brothers is in television now, whether they like it or not. But everyone here had wonderful spirit, all the different studios. As soon as Warner Brothers caught on fire, it wasn't more than 4 hours till MGM had sent a bucket of water over in a studio car. In Columbia Studio, they had coffee and donuts for the people at Columbia. Republic was the first ones to see the blaze, and it wasn't 5 minutes until they had a horse saddle and a guy riding to the Alamo for help. Paramount went over and shot thousands of feet of film, they tell me. I think it's because someday Bob Hope and Bing Crosby are going to make a picture called Road to You Know Where. The reason the fire caught on so well, the fire department wasn't casting that day. You can always tell when it's spring. We started our spring cleaning this week, too. I can always tell when it's spring around our house. We start our cleaning by throwing out the Christmas tree. My wife says we got an old grandfather clock and some old furniture around there. She says, let's get rid of this old stuff and go out and buy some new antiques. There was a fire at Warner Brothers. I said to the housekeeper, I says, look, we got to do something about cleaning up this house. I said, the piano's so dirty I can write my name in the dust. She says, education's a wonderful thing, ain't it? You can always tell when it's spring around our house. We start by throwing out the Christmas tree. There was a fire at Warner Brothers. I said to my little boy, Richard, I says, hey, come here, look at this piano. I says, there's so much dust up there. I says, Valentina and you should help clean up around here. I says, you could plant potatoes. He says, no kidding. So when he went outside for a minute, I got a lot of potatoes from the kitchen. I put them all over the piano, and I says, hey, Richard, come here. Valentina, come here, look. Potatoes. He says, that's funny. We planted radishes. I went over to a little school that the kids go to over in Brentwood there, and Georgia, that's my wife, the kids didn't want to ride home in the car. They says, you ride home in the school bus with us. Well, I felt like a big idiot. Felt like a big idiot. Well, anyhow, I get on this school bus, and I'm riding along there, see? And all of a sudden, I realized there was a fire at Warner Brothers this week. riding along. Finally, we come to a stop street, and a lady pulled up the side of the bus, and she nudges the lady next to her, and they kept looking at me, and one of them says, Gertrude. I can't do an old woman, you see. She says, Gertrude, isn't that Red Skelton? And the other one says, oh, dear, no. He never went that far in school.
Skelton's Scrapbook. Telephone trouble.
Oh, what's wrong? Oh, out of order. Why don't they fix these phones?
All right, stick 'em up. Get 'em up high. I think you're a little too conspicuous that way. Put your hands behind your head. Tune in tomorrow and see what happens to the second Mrs. Soderstrom.
I don't know why they don't fix that phone. I was only going to call them to tell them that Warner Brothers was on fire.
Skelton's Scrapbook. The absent-minded announcer.
Well, Jay Newton Numbskull, my favorite TV announcer.
Well, Benny Rubin. How about that? Benny Rubin.
Jay Newton, I wanted to...
my favorite announcer is you.
Oh, well, listen. Now, there can't be anybody like you in this world. You know something? That I see you all the time.
Well, naturally.
Listen, you know something? You're on the air so much, I never miss you. And I want to tell you something that I am one of the... Of course, I got some new products.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have, too.
Yeah, what have
I
you got?
have a new one that I'm selling now called
Sleepo.
Sleepo coffee.
Sleepo.
This is the only coffee that removes its own caffeine.
The only coffee that removes its own caffeine?
I repeat, the only coffee that removes its own caffeine. There it goes now!
Hey, a flock of them flew over that time, didn't they?
Huh? Oh, boy.
No, listen. I want to tell you something. I've got some great products. I've got one called Chef Maloney's Horse Meat Hash.
It sounds delicious.
I want to tell you that I tell my friends, I say friends, buy Maloney's Horse Meat Hash. It comes in 6 delicious flavors.
Oh?
Orange, lemon, raspberry, lime, strawberry, and palomino. Buy some of Maloney's Horse Meat Hash tonight and give it to your wife. And tomorrow, you can put her out to pasture. You like that?
This I don't remember rehearsing at all.
Will you have a cigarette?
Oh, no, don't touch me with those.
Why?
I only use my brand, the one I sell.
What do you sell?
Smog cigarette. They don't come in king size. This is the Empire State Building size. Smoke one of these and it's really filtered. It takes 4 days for the smoke to get to your nostrils. More doctors recommend these than any other cigarette. You know why?
Why?
They get more business that way.
Yes, I can see that. Say, do you know, it's amazing about products, you know?
Oh, yeah.
How we remember everything. People don't realize what announcers go through.
Oh, well.
What would ever happen if one night you went out to sell something big and your mind went blank?
Oh, well, that would never happen to me, you see.
Why not?
I got the greatest memory in the world. If we ever forgot the product that we were selling, why, the network would take you into a dark room and beat you into a kinescope.
No, but you mean your mind never goes blank?
No, down at the studio, they call me, what do they call me? I'm on for a product tonight that I like so well, I'm paying the sponsor to let me advertise it.
Really? What is it?
Oh, that's funny. I can't quite remember.
Oh, now, look, numbskull, will you listen to me? You do what I do. I went to a memory school. That's why I never forget anything. You go to the school, they teach you to remember everything.
Well, what school's that?
I forget the name. But I'll show you how to remember always. Now, I'll show you how to concentrate. Put your head in your hands. Now, what do you see?
Fingers.
Yeah. Look at me now.
Yeah.
All right, now put your head in your hands again. Concentrate. Who do you see now?
Ann Miller.
No, listen, you're off the beam. Will you look at me? Look at me, but good.
Yeah.
Now put your hands over your eyes. Now who do you see?
You know, you don't compare with Ann Miller.
But I'm trying to help you with the product. Listen, you know something? If you can't remember that product, that's a dirty trick to play on the sponsor.
There's a clue.
What?
Dirt.
Yeah?
Dirt. Marching up and down again. In your pajamas or in your shirt. Whenever you wear them, there's always dirt. 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 For the big guy or for the little squirt, there's dirt. Dirt. Gets clothes cleaner than any soap.
Soap?
Soap, no.
Soap?
No.
Soap?
No. It gets clothes cleaner than any soap. I've got to remember, because this is no joke.
But
the name.
That's what I want to
The
know.
name.
The name.
I can't remember the name.
Here, look here.
A clue.
Goodbye,
A clue.
mister.
Will somebody give me a clue? It's a wash day miracle you buy in the store. Procter & Gamble's gonna be awful sore because I can't remember the name.
The name?
The name.
The name.
I can't remember the name. The name. The name. I can't remember the name. It gets close, clear, dazzling bright. Oh, they're gonna miss me around here tonight. I can't remember the name. The name. I've got the name on the tip of my tongue. The sponsor's watching. I'm gonna die young. I know one thing. It was really a shame. I've got to remember the name.
Please
the
remember
name.
the name. I'm going to be kind.
Tide.
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 Yeah.
The name of the product is Tide.
Yeah.
Now here's the tip, so write it down. You'll have the cleanest wash in town. The name of the product is Tide.
Tide?
Tide.
Tide?
Tide.
Tide?
Tide.
Skelton Scrapbook. Dinner at Cobina Wright's.
Hello? Hello? Yes? This is Cobina Wright. Is this the Reliable Employment Agency? Well, I've been waiting a long time for that butler you promised to send, and he hasn't come yet. Well, my dinner's at 8 o'clock, and now, mercy, it's 7 diamonds past 1 ruby. Well, you think he'll be here any minute? All right, well, thanks. Goodbye.
I'm getting worried, Mrs. Wright. That new butler hasn't shown up yet, and there's so much work to be done around here.
Well, they just called up the agency just a moment ago, and I'm sure he'll be here any minute, so don't worry about it.
Well, I can't do all this by myself, and I sure hope he's better than the last one we had.
I know. It's terrible. Well, there's the bell. Go. It might be.
He says he's the new butler.
Miss Cobina Wright, I am the new butler.
Are you the new butler?
Well, I ain't trick or treat, I'll tell you.
Listen, when I ordered a butler, I thought I'd ordered a human being.
Well, they were just fresh out, you see. Oh, my. Say, oh, pardon me, just a moment, would you please?
What have you got those dark glasses on for?
Do you always wear those headlights? Are your arms paid for? Oh, isn't that beautiful? I remember that when it hung in the old Venice ballroom.
Listen, I want you to know who gave that to me.
Who?
Do you know that that was the Maharaja of Pismo Beach?
Yeah. Raj's down there now?
Well, certainly.
Say, you mind? I was awful long trip over here. You mind if I have a bite to eat while we talk over business arrangements?
Don't eat that apple.
Hmm?
That's a plastic apple.
What's that?
That's plastic.
But so are my teeth.
Listen, what is your name?
Kadiddlehopper.
Kadiddlehopper?
Yeah, Clem Kadiddlehopper Jr.
That's the strangest name I've ever heard. Now, look, couldn't you change your name?
What two?
Well, couldn't you change it to Jones?
Well, no, I can't spell Jones.
How in the world can you spell Kadiddlehopper?
I can't, but I'm not ashamed of that, you see.
Have you ever...
Pretty horrible to look at a face like that.
Have you ever buttled before?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever buttled before?
Oh, I don't know. I guess we all have to buttle sooner or later.
I'm going to show you how to serve. Now, come here with me.
Show you how to serve,
Yes.
all right? Walk that way, huh?
Now, listen, when I ring this bell,
Yeah?
now, I don't want you wandering all around the room.
You don't want me wandering around the room?
No, I want you to come right straight here to me.
Oh, when you ring the bell, I come right to you.
Yes, you come right here.
All right, we'll try that
All
right
right, well,
now.
I'll try it. Now, just try it.
I never grew up like a Bina Wright Sr. Did you write this, madam?
Just try
Oh,
it.
you want to ring the bell and call for me? Well, I don't mind saying so, but that's a pretty stupid place to leave a chair.
Now, just try it again.
Oh, yes. Did you ring, ma'am?
Get off of that table. Get off of that table. Listen, have you ever worked for anybody before?
Have I ever worked for anybody? Do you know Doris Duke?
Well, of course I know,
Do
Doris.
you know the Vanderbilts?
Well, yes,
Well, do you know the Rockefellers?
certainly.
You sure know a lot of people, don't you?
Listen, now tonight when I ring,
Yes?
That means that you have to bring in the first course.
What is it, old Susanna? Your first course, you mean I'm not going to eat with you? Well, how snooty can you get?
When I ring the bell,
Yes?
you bring in the wine.
Why, bring in the wine.
Yes.
I am a butler that comes prepared.
Yes.
I am always saving money for the people that I work for. Here. Take this right now. Sure. Ooh, that feels good.
What in the world are you doing there?
Making you some wine.
Well, look, I'm serving champagne.
Why now, she tells me, just after I have my feet set for Burgundy.
Listen, I'll just take that thing out.
Well,
Just take it right out and come here.
Could I rinse out a few things for you? I'll be right back. You sure there ain't something buried under the house around here?
Now, look, I want to give you these instructions.
Instructions,
Now,
huh?
where the people are going to sit.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to sit here.
Why don't you sit in a chair? Why on the table? Oh, you're going to sit in the chair, but there. That's too fast for a seat, isn't it?
I want to...
Good heavens, I haven't played one of these in years.
Look, I'm going to sit here.
Yeah?
Now, watch.
Yeah?
Now, this is Aunt Emily. This is Uncle John. This is Mr. and Mrs. Forsythe.
Yeah?
And next to Cousin Winifred is General Rogers.
Oh.
Now, and my mother at the foot of the table. Now, did you get that?
I got it, but I don't think it got through to me. You're sitting there in that chair, and first comes Aunt Emma, then comes Mr. and Mrs. Four Eyes, and the general's going to sit here while your cousin picks up your mother who's under the table.
Now, listen. Let's go through this whole thing again.
Yes.
Now, look. Here I am at the foot of at the head of the table.
At the head of the table.
Yes, the head of the table.
Which one's
Now.
you now?
Well, wait a minute. Now, then there's Aunt Emily. There's Uncle John. There's Mr. and Mrs. Forsythe.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's General Rogers next to Cousin Winifred. My mother at the foot of the table. Now, did you get it?
Look, why don't you do yourself a favor and go to a nice drive-in somewhere? Eat out for a change.
Now, look, it's simple. Now, I want to show you. Now, this is me.
You look kind of potted,
that?
don't you?
Now, this is Aunt Emily.
Oh?
Yes. Now, this is Uncle John.
Looks like somebody buttered him up, don't it?
Now, look. Now, this is Mrs. Rogers. And that, no, this is Mrs. Forsythe. And this is
I knew she'd
Mr.
forget it.
Forsythe. Of course. And then, this is General Rogers.
Oh?
Now, then, you see this olive over here. Just
Yeah.
give me an olive.
Here you are.
Now, this is Cousin Winifred.
That's
This
Cousin
olive.
Winifred.
Yeah. Now, well, I don't know. Then maybe I won't invite Cousin Winifred. Let me
Oh,
see. Now, wait a minute.
who's
Now,
your
wait a minute.
Winifred?
Well, but here's, now, this is General Rogers, and he'd be all alone. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put back Cousin Winifred. That's better.
We can't. I just swallowed her.
Well, anyway, can't you get another olive?
Well, what's the matter? Can't you reach them? They're right there.
What in the world have you got in your mouth?
I'll give you a guess.
A pit.
Thanks. I was trying to figure a way of getting rid of it.
Now, this picture is my mother.
No, that's your father, you said.
No, this picture's my mother.
That's your father.
This is my mother.
That's your father.
My mother.
It's your father.
Oh,
Oh, well, we all have to go sooner or later. Looks like you're an orphan now, kiddo. There. Look at that pimento. Look at that little olive sticking its pimento out at me. Look, don't worry about a thing. I used to be in the Army, and I worked in the mess hall quite a bit. Let me arrange the table the way I think it should be
all
done.
right, go ahead. Now,
Thank you. Oh. I'll be right back. Too soon.
Now, be careful of those dishes. Those are my very best dishes.
Oh, look, I was in the Army for 2 years working in mess halls, and I never broke one meth kit.
Oh, you've broken everything. You've
Yeah, I
ruined
handle
everything.
China
Oh.
like the Russians, don't I, huh? There's one I missed. Well, ain't you gonna fire me?
You're fired. Now you just get out.
All
Just
right,
get
I'll
out.
go. I'll go. I thought
Just
you'd
get out
get
of
down to
here.
that.
Just get out of here. I'm sick and tired of you. Just
Don't
get-
swish at me like that. I'll tell you, I don't have to take that from anybody.
Oh,
What kind of people do you think you are, anyhow?
take that old dirty handkerchief and get out of here. Get
Look,
out.
I'll take my handkerchief and
Get
go,
right out.
but you're going to regret this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for allowing me to come into your living rooms. And so may I come back again next week? Goodbye now, and thanks for looking and listening.